Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to everybody around the world. Welcome back to another One Piece video featuring your boy, Luffy. Come at you guys with an RP build for EB01 and OP06. Get ready for it. It's going to be a lot of fun, especially when it comes to a leader, in which I think a lot of people are overlooking. Now, Luffy came out a little while ago in ST10, which is the 3 captains structure deck. He's a 6k leader, and we haven't had one of those since OP02 with Edward Newgate. Being a 6k gives a lot of decks a little bit of a trouble to attack into this guy, especially when we activate cards such as like Radical Beam, which makes us a 10, or a Guard Point, which makes us a 9, or one of us so happens to have a Newgate on board or Eustace Kid. It's very difficult for a lot of decks to get over. RP Law being one of those, a Nell as well. But in any case, we're going to dive into this deck list here, see what we cooked up. We'll play a bunch of games today, and I'll bring you back as we normally do here. So for this list particularly, we are running with 8 2k counters, be it Sanji and Frankie. Of course, you can run other ones such as like Usopp or Miss Doublefinger. All of those cards will work just fine. Generally, it's like 8 to 12 2k counters, which is kind of the sweet spot. But you know, you can pick or choose. I'm opting to run 8 here for this particular build. There are some changes in which I will go over at the end of the video, cards I might be taking out and all that sort of thing. But currently this is a list that I've been working on and having a lot of fun with. You do see cards in here such as like Chopper, Shanks, and Luffy here. We'll get into that in a second. Now, without further ado, we are also running quite a bit of big bodies. We're running 4 9k or 9 cost Newgates, 2 10 drop Luffys, and then we run 1 Shanks, 3 Eustace Kid. All of these cards have purpose, let alone the Shanks might be the one that you might be questioning just a little bit. Shanks allows you to get rid of cards such as Newgate, Kid, your Queen blockers. He just kills anything on board that's 10,000 power or less, which is really, really good. This also includes like cards from Katakuri and Big Mom. So in other words, you can go ahead and get rid of this. You can get rid of the 7-drop moms as well. And you can get rid of some of the other problem cards such as Yamato. Now, you guys will, in the future, see cards such as Ace in OP07. Shanks can deal with that as well. And Nell is going to be running this, and Nell is going to be a difficult matchup for a lot of decks out there. Shanks might be the answer to those. We'll see. But without further ado, we are running with 6 blockers in the deck, be it 4 Queen and 2 Law. Unfortunately, if you're playing purple, you can't really get around with not playing Queen in most purple decks. You gotta have it. $30 each. They're quite expensive. If you don't have these, you can replace this with Kid. Just know you won't get the same effect. Kid allows you to, if you minus a Don, you get the Don back, but he is a blocker to 6k. So same thing as Queen, except for Queen's on play ability allows you to minus 1 Don, draw 2, trash 1 card, which is really good for a deck such as this, because sometimes we will run or draw a lot of no counter cards, be it like Newgates and all that sort of thing. Queen allows you to cycle through. And then we are running with 2 Laws. Law particularly is very strong into all yellow matchups in the current format. So Enel, Katakuri, Yamato, any deck that generally has a lot of cards in hand, Law helps you deal with them. Now we only opt to run 2 just because of space. I feel like 4 is a little bit too many. And sometimes playing down Law is kind of like telegraphed almost. Like if you have 4 Don up, you swing in with leader or what have you, you go 6 at 4 Don up, they might just automatically know you're going to play Law and then guard out. So it's to catch people off guard who are unexpected, but running 4 I think is way too many here in this build, so we only opt to run 2. I did include 1 more blocker in the deck, which is Chopper. This is a personal preference. I actually really like the card here. Just the 1 of is fine. If you don't like him, of course you can cut him out and then go up another ratio and something else like a guard point if that's what you choose to do. Chopper is just one of those things where I can search out along with my Radical Beams and Guard Point off the Nami. And if I don't have a Rad Beam or a Guard Point and I have a Newgate, I'm dropping Newgate down, then I can just play a Chopper. You know what I mean? But overall, he's just there just to be able to search out for a defensive piece. He can be cut if you choose to. Now, speaking of which, we got a bunch of new cards from EB01, being Mr. 2 Bond Clay. This is another very, very expensive card currently in the format, but every single purple deck out there is running it for good reason. He does some very, very ridiculous things in all purple decks. He allows you to ramp on play, and then For example, if your opponent has a Newgate on board, or what have you, if this card attacks, he can copy one of your opponent's character's power. So in other words, this can become a 10k if he chooses Newgate, not including any Dawn you've attached to him. So if you've attached like 2 Dawn to this, and then you swing, you select Newgate, he becomes a 12k attacker, which is really, really strong. Now, into decks such as like RP Law, of course he's not going to be relevant because Law can just remove him with ease, right? But every other deck in the format, other than Black, they're going to have a hard time to get rid of this guy. Now, speaking of which, you do have replacements though, because he is quite expensive. Not the cost, but more say like how much it costs to buy these guys. He is quite expensive. So when it comes to other options here, you have Miss All Sunday, which on play, you add up to 1 Rested Dawn to your cost area if you have 6 or more Dawn, and you also get to draw a card. Right, this is a pretty decent card. It has no counter, but it does have a trigger on play ability as well. It almost does the same thing as this, except for this Dawn that gets activated on play comes as active instead of rested. Now you have 2 other options, be it Gene Bart, but you have to have 5 Dawn to make this guy relevant. So in other words, if you play this down at 4 Dawn, you can't use his ability. You have to have 5 Dawn because you have to pay the 4 for the cost, and you have to pay the 1 to ramp up with his ability. But he does have the on play, you know, get a Dawn, and it does come as active. And you have 1 more in I'm. I'm is another no counter card, but it automatically gets a Dawn added to your Dawn deck, but it's rested. But those are your other options in case you don't want to shell out the money for Mr. 2 Bond Clay, which I can understand. But overall, this is going to be a list that I've been working on when it comes to RP Luffy. There's a lot of different scenarios and strategies here with this list that you can cook up. A lot of different variations out there. But before we get into those, we're going to talk about the rest of this deck here, and then we'll play a bunch of games. Your other ramp card that we are running here is going to be Zoro Joro. What he allows you to do is if you're at 3 life or less, which you always will be with Luffy, if this card attacks, whether the attack succeeds or not, when you declare the attack, you can ramp a Dawn, and it sets as active, which is really, really nice. He's a 4k body, so I mean, he's not really doing all too much unless you attach Dawn to him, but he still allows you to ramp up for free, which is cool, right? And then, of course, we're going to be running with the 3 7 kids and the 4 Newgates here. These 2 combinations allow your leader to be very, very difficult for a lot of decks to deal with, especially RP Law and Nell, everything else out there in the format. This will put your leader to 7k for a whole turn, which is nice. So for instance, if you go first and you get up to 7 Dawn, you can drop the kid, go down to 6. The following turn, you go back up to 8, you can activate Luffy's leader ability, ramps you up to 9 Dawn, drop the Newgate. When you swing in with the kid, it pushes you to 7, Newgate being on board, you're already at 9k, which is very, very hard for a lot of decks to get through. But overall, we're going to dive into a bunch of games today, and I will see you guys in a split second. Let's go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to dive into a bunch of games today, come at you guys with RP Luffy, playing into an Odin, which is really, really cool to see. I think at Locals last weekend, we had like, was it 4 or 5 Odins running around? It's a very fun deck to play against. And we have a really good hand here. Next turn, we can actually drop down the Bond Clay and go up to 5 Dawn already. I don't mind taking this hit. That's fine. Zoro Joro might not get value here as well. Ooh, we get the Newgate and the kid here. Let's go 7 lead. Let's do the thing. Can I get the first hit in? I mean, he'd have to give me 3k counter, so I'd imagine this attack goes through. Wouldn't make any sense otherwise. Yep, cool. Alright. 5 Dawn open. He needs to play down an Ezo here, or... Okay, that works. 5 cost Yamato. Okay, that's another thing. Unfortunately, in this matchup, though, I don't think the Yamato double attack is actually going to be relevant. Because I'm a 6k leader, so he has to invest quite a bit of Dawn into Yamato to get the swings off. I know this may sound silly. We should probably play Queen here, I get it. But instead, let's play the 7 cost kid, right? We're going to play down the kid. Go up to 7k leader with kid's ability, which is nice. And then I will attack with Luffy and Bond Clay. I get it. I can't hit him. I will be a 5k here. I understand that. It's just, I hope that Bon Clay will become that pseudo blocker for the turn here. And I don't have to deal with the Yamato. That's just my guess. Like I said, it might have been dumb. It probably was dumb. But hey, they will attack into Bon Clay to get him off the board this turn. Either Yamato or Odin. And it has to be Odin. Otherwise, he doesn't want to risk his Yamato for me to kill it. But next turn, we get to drop the new gate and go up to 9k. So he's not going to be able to pass through with Yamato either. And I think in this scenario, he needs to have another Wanu card on board. Okay. So Izo will be fine. This will work out for him. Alright, go ahead and kill it. You know you want to. So that is 5. That's 8k with Yamato. If he swings into me, that just means 1 2k counter. And that attack probably won't go through. And if he does, we just kill Yamato the following turn. Nice. Cool. Alright, so we're at 8. Ramp up to 9. We get the new gate on board, which pushes us to 8k. When we attack with Kid, this will make us a 9k body for the whole turn. Yes, Izo can do the thing. Push us back down to 7. I understand. It's fine. Still 7k. And now we go back up to 9 here. So now the amount of Dawn he has to invest into his units to hit me is quite huge. Yamato is not going to get off the double attack. Unless he stacks all Dawn on her right now and goes for it. But I don't see him doing that. And even still though. That'd be a 14k. I mean, he could potentially do that. We'd have to use our whole hand to get out of that, but I don't see that happening. Cool. Yep, we're good. Okay, so Rested Dawn goes onto Leader. So Leader's now a 6k. Assuming he swings. Yep, okay, 12k in the Kid. I'm gonna guard this, actually. As much as it might be a bad idea, I think I'm gonna take this one. We give him 2 2k counters, and then we can give him the Zoro Joro here. And he should survive. Yep, we're chilling. Because nothing else can hit me or Kid right now. Alright, come on. Thank you. Ooh, we get another Kid. We could Shanks. Shanks could take out any of these units on board. Or we can go a little bit defensive here. Let's do the Nami. I guess we'll take the 2k. And we'll play down the Queen. I need a guard point or a rad beam here. Oh. Actually, it's not too bad. But... I think we get rid of Luffy here. I know it seems a little crazy. We don't really have, you know, some really good choices to pop, but let's get rid of Luffy for now. Let's do the thing, pushes up to 7k. So he needs 3k counter to get out of this swing. Yep. Okay, so he's using Izo's effect to minus what? So he minus the Luffy there, my leader. Does that mean... Okay, so he's going to take the Kid hit. Alright, that's fine. We're still the 6k body. Let's go 10 into this. Which is probably another guaranteed hit. Yep. Does he have enough Dawn for this? Or, not enough Dawn, enough counter for this? We're another 10k. With Luffy's ability. And good game, maybe? Oh, wow. Alright. He survived one more turn. Crazy. He still has to hit us 3 times. Okay. New gate. That's fine. I don't know if I would have done that, personally. But I guess we do have the blocker on board, so this probably was the smarter play, because we could just block the Yamato if we decided to Dawn up and do that. Well, getting all the hard decks out of the way, apparently. I mean, I guess why not come back at you guys with another RP build into a Enel, in which is going to be a tough matchup. We'll take it. We get the Bon Clay off the rip here, which is really, really good. Makes us go up to 5 Dawn the following turn. We have options at that point, because we can just go into 7-cost Kid, or we can play down Queen. Already, by the way. That's crazy. What the heck? Flaming Dragon King. Interesting. I actually like that. It's pretty good. Especially when you get to see your cards that you have here with an L. This leads me to believe he probably plays like Kikinojo here. Or Hiyori. So this might be like a Wano or something. Maybe setting up his life. Give you that guard point. There's a Hiyori. Huh. As much as I want to, we're going to hold off this turn. We're going to chill. That might be like a Kikinojo. Yeah, we're going to pass it up. It's fine, it's fine. We'll get there. Oh. Oh, that sucks. We'll give him a life. As much as I want to trash mine here, we'll just give him one life. We'll be fine. We'll get there. Because now we have the new gate as well. And there's no way he's getting attacks off this turn. So we can minus the Dawn here. We don't want to do this yet. We want to attack with the other one first. What am I doing? Yep. This will be 8. Pushes us up to 9. Sure. Let's go Bond Clay first, just in case it's a trigger to pop Bond. Oh, Nekomamushi. I guess we don't really care about that. Alright, down to 2 life already. But he does have a lot of cards in hand. I'll probably play defensive from here on out, because he doesn't have any options to pop down, like, you know, my kids or my new gate. Unless he plays Kingdom Come or Raigo, whatever you want to call it now. But then that'll push him down to 1 life, and that'll be his whole turn. So, we might be alright. Because that's what, 6 Dawn? So I think the only thing that could hit me at that point would be Big Mom. So Bond Clay has to go, of course. 12 into this. Yeah, there's no shot, so you got it. Okay. Huh. Oh, and we draw the Law. Let's play Law first. Discard some cards here. That's a Momo and a 2K counter. Love to see it. So now he can't wall up or play like super defensive because Momo is gone, which is nice. Let's minus a Dawn for the Queen. We get Janbei and a Bond Clay. Let's get rid of the Luffy. I don't think we're going to need a Luffy here. I know it sounds crazy. Or should we get rid of the Bond Clay? It's the counter though. Alright, let's get rid of the Luffy here. If I go 8K into Mom, right? He either gives me cards from hand or gives me the Momo. I think he'll give me a card from hand in this scenario. And then perhaps when Newgate swings, he'll give me the Momo, I hope. He gives me the 2K. So that means he has no 1K counters. So that has to go. Nice. So what do you do from here? He's at 3 life, so he can't heal up with Yamato. Yeah, okay, that's a thing, I guess. Sure. But he doesn't get the heal, and that's the important bit. Give him the Zoro. We have 2 more queens to go. I didn't want to, like, slap down multiple queens at once, or multiple blockers at one time either, just in case he has, like, reject or something. But we might just do that this turn. We can get rid of the Zoro here. Let's go up 1 ramp, play down another queen, we'll do the thing again. Ooh, these are nice. Oh, this is a tough one actually. It's either the Diable Janbei, or we get rid of the Bond Clay. Bond Clay is just that 1K counter, but Janbei also allows us to get through, and he does play with Momonosuke's, but we've already seen quite a few, so this might be okay just to get rid of this for now. 1 Dawn open. We need to save that for Guard Point or Radical Beam, depending on what he has. We don't know just yet. Let's go 6 lead. So that gives me the impression he doesn't have any counter in hand. As much as I want to attack with Law, it makes no sense to. Gets a Sanji off that, which is nice. So the Big Mom must have been a dead card in hand there as well. So we know he has the Hiyori, at the very least. So that might be his only 2k counter. So I think next turn we can possibly win the game. Do we care about this? We can give him the guard point, right? And this one here we can just take the hit. So I'm not going to guard out with queens or laws here. We get another kid off that, which isn't too bad. Katakuri, sure. He passes the turn, interesting. I guess he knows that he has to invest Dawn to hit me. And it's just a 2k counter, maybe? I don't know why he didn't swing with an L there. But we'll take it. Playing on another new gate. Goes back up to 8k for the following turn, which is really good. We have 1 Dawn open for the Rad Beam as well. This turn, I think we'll try to take down the Mom if we're able to. Remember, he does have the 2k counter Hiyori. Okay, Dragon King, that's fine. Now I can force him to give me the Hiyori off this. If he does, he has no 1k counters. Like, just guaranteed, right? Okay, so that's it. He has no 1k counters in hand. Just the Hiyori. So how do you play this from here? We've got 2 new gates, 3 blockers on board. I think we're chilling. We've got the Rad Beam, the 0 cost event to protect ourselves here. We can throw away the 7 cost kit for the 0 event if need be. And the 2 1ks pushes us up to a 9k. Not bad. Let's do the 0 cost event here. Let's take this hit. And maybe he'll be tempted to, you know, Dawn up everything and start swinging. 10k here. We can give him the 0 cost event. I'm not going to give him blockers. I'm going to try to prolong this as much as possible if I'm able to. That way we can use the blockers to attack him instead. Another 10k. Not really a problem. Give him a Frankie and a Zorojuro or the Bon Clay. Doesn't really matter at this point. And we still have the Rad Beam open. No, we don't even need it. Cool. But we do have to block. So the Frankie and the 1k. And now we should be able to go for game here. So at the very least, he'll have the 2k Hiyori. He'll get the 1k counter for the Nekomamushi. Because I would imagine he doesn't play it down. So we can go 8k with Law. This will force him to give me 2 2ks if he has them, which he doesn't. And we'll do the same thing here with Queen. So yeah, the other cards in hand must be dead cards. Okay, what just happened? He got a Beji off trigger, okay. So Newgate can't attack and he discarded the Yamato. Fair. Ooh, no trigger. Actually, hold up. Let's go 7k here. What am I doing? This will get the Neko. Yep. And GG, buddy. Ooh, that Dawn count, though, or the counter count, was pretty good. As much as I love playing Crocodile, I absolutely hate playing against this deck. It is not fun, man. It is not fun at all. It's like playing against a Nell, but worse. Considering the fact that this deck just constantly keeps healing with Okama Way and Kikinojo is kind of nutty. But then again, we'll see, we'll see. We'll just do the thing. We'll go 8k to face here. I'm going to try, or 9k, sorry, math's hard. I'm going to try to get this guy down as fast as I possibly can. And hopes that we can give him cards in hands. That way we can law him. So, law into yellow is pretty strong. 6k, I don't really mind it. I'm not going to give you a 2k for this. You got it. Ooh, yeah, sure, we'll ramp up. That pushes us up to 6 Dawn already. We got no ramping cards other than the Gum Gum, so that does feel bad. 7 in hands, 1 blocker up. Let's do this first. Get a 0 cost and a Katakuri. Love to see it. So he shouldn't be attacking me with Miss Wednesday, so this should be 1 attack for the following turn. Going 6. He probably has the counter in hands. He's going to ramp up if I hit him. Regardless, I guess it doesn't really matter too much. He can ramp and take the guaranteed damage. That's fine with me. That should give me 3k counter. Nice. Or 4k, sorry. Alright. Didn't plan on it. Thank you. Now remember, this deck itself doesn't work if it doesn't see Crocodile. So hopefully, you know, like, if we draw on the Shanks during that time, that'd be awesome, but we only run the one of, so it's very much unlikely. This is why I think, like, adding in more Shanks might be a good, you know, good opportunity to do that against decks like Crocodile and Enel, who are going to be running the 10-drop ace, so that might be a thought. Let's get down the kid. We'll do the thing. Go 7k body here. I'm just going to keep attacking. I know he keeps ramping, but I'm getting cards out of hand, and if I don't see a Crocodile, I think I'm chilling. Let's go. What you got? Okama away? Yeah, sure. That's fine. I don't care. I mean, him healing a life is not great, right? I get that. But Kikinojo, 6k body on board, no Dawn investment to hit me, I'll take it. Any day. Just don't draw a Crocodile. That's all I ask. 5 left. If he doesn't play it here, I think he's going to be losing. Okay. Kikinojo. Yeah, he's struggling right now. This means he doesn't have it. Yep. Okay. What could he put on life here? Because we don't run with Onamis and Crocodile most of the time. I mean, you can, but generally we don't. Maybe it's another Kikinojo off the life here. Let's take this hit. Go up to 8. We can do the Luffy thing, push us to 9, but we don't see any new gates, which is unfortunate. Can I draw into one? No, I cannot. Great. He's got one blocker. Throwing away the Luffy might be the best option here, but just in case. Yeah, but that's just in case. He doesn't have counter. We might not need him. 3 Dawn open. I think I messed up here, by the way. I don't remember if I did Luffy's leader ability. I'm pretty sure I didn't, right? I think we just played Queen down and then didn't do the leader ability. So we didn't ramp up a Dawn to 9. Yeah, we messed up. Don't cook me too bad in the comments. I know it's going to happen. Someone's going to notice it. But yeah, that's totally my fault. Well, we get rid of that blocker, which is great. Let's go 7. There should be another damage. I mean, he does have 2 Dawn open. Why whoops? What happened? He chose to block. I don't understand. He chose to block with it, like he... okay. Maybe he had events that he could activate, he chose not to activate the events, I don't know. But that's fine. It'd be what it'd be, it happens. Go 7. We definitely won't take this hit. As much as I want to, I don't think it's valuable enough for me to take this hit. Bon Clay or Sanji. Let's give the Sanji. I kind of want to keep the Bon Clay if I'm able to. No, so I'm not able to. That's unfortunate. Either way, if I guard out with Queen here, I'd have to give a 2k counter. I don't want to do that either, so I guess we'll just get rid of this. It's fine. Omaru. Bro, math is hard. Crazy. Once you make one mistake, it feels like it just keeps happening. But that attack wouldn't have hit me anyway, even if he did map that right, let's be honest. Alright, so Mr. 2 and Law are kind of irrelevant here. We didn't see any big bodies all game other than Eustace Kid, and we got this far. And he also didn't see Crocodile, so I mean, hey. We both didn't see all the cards we actually needed. Not that you need to see Newgate, but, you know, hey, he helps out a lot. One blocker up here. No Dawn active, so no Okama ways can be done. I think we're good here. I don't really think we have to care about the board. We just go face. Sure. So now he does have Dawn open for one Okama way if he has it in hand. And I'm going to attack with everything here. Sounds silly, but he's got 1 life. So, and we're a 7k leader with a guard point and a rad beam with a lot of counter in hand, so we can afford it. Let's do this again. You gonna heal up or what? Oh, he's gonna take it. Cool. I don't know if that's gonna be an Okama way in hand. It could be a bait. I could potentially just go 8k and swing and win. But let's play this smart. We'll take it slow. We'll go 6k in the face. As much as I want to go 7k, I think we need the other Dawn active just for the, you know, make sure we have rad beam and guard point available. Just go 6. If it was wrong and I should have attacked, you know, with 8k, I guess I should have done that, but he does have the blocker on board, so it's interesting though. He gave me the blocker, so that tells me he has no counter in hand. And I will trash my life here. There's no way I'm gonna let you heal, sorry. Aw, bye Chopper. Little buddy got no value this game, unfortunate. You can't hit me there. We'll give you the 2k here. And GG, buddy. Silly goober. Alright. So far so good, guys. So far so good. Ramp up. Let's go 8k to face. Just end the game, man. Just end the game. Take the hit so we can move on. Thank you. And I feel like I'm running into nothing but an L's today. I mean, I guess this is one of those matchups that we're going to have to deal with at some point. And in OP07, it only just gets worse, but still. I think by that point, if you guys are still playing RP Luffy, we have access to the 10-drop Shanks. That allows you to kill any target on board that's 10,000 power or less. So that might be the way I try to go about playing RP Luffy at that point. Considering that, you know, Ace comes out in OP07, and Anel is going to be running that card, which is a 10k power with Rush, so that's a way for us to remove it. So it might be something to look into, but we'll see. Brûlée. Haven't seen a Brûlée in Anel in a while. But, this will work, that's fine. So it looks like he runs a bunch of maybe defensive cards, we'll see. I think we played against another Anel earlier, and what, they were Wanu, right? With the Momo and all that sort of thing. So, nothing surprises me nowadays, we'll see. I love making up all these pretty spicy different variations of decks. Okay. Stacking life already. I wonder if he plays with Onami here as well. Or is that going to be like a Kikinojo on trigger? I don't know. Yep, going 8. You know I got the guard point. Let's go. Let's just take the hit anyway. We don't really care about this. Actually, yeah, let's take it. We don't care about it. Diable Jambe. Let's pop the Brûlée with this. Why not? The 2 of that we run, we end up getting 1 on trigger is crazy to me. Another guard point. Let's play down another one of Bon Clay. Ramp up again. We're at 9 Dawn. So next turn we can drop the Shanks already. And this is our 2nd turn, by the way. It's crazy. Well, you know, Bon Clay doesn't get any benefits here, considering he's running Hiyori on board still. What could this trigger be? Let's go 7. We'll save up the 2 guard points. Okay. Sure, no problem, buddy. I mean, alright. Like, what do you want me to do here in this scenario? Let's play down Chopper to pass it up. I don't know, that seemed a little silly to me, but, you know, we'll take it. We'll take it. Let's pretend it didn't happen, alright? It didn't happen. We'll edit that part out. It's fine. Okay, so here's the Momo. Sure. That's totally okay with me. Go 7. We can guard point this. I probably shouldn't have done that. I should have just gave him the Sanji. But I figure giving him the guard point is something he knows that we have in hand. You know what I mean? He doesn't know about Sanji 2K. Let's pop that. Let Shanks do his thing. Go 6K to face. Give him back the Hiyori. In hindsight, I probably should have attacked with Bon Clay first and then copied the Momonosuke. So that's my bad. But I guess if I would have done that, then he had an option to attack the Bon Clay next turn. And maybe, you know, he plays down like a Katakuri or Yamato or something to heal up at some point, and then we could just copy the power in that point. So we'll see. He does have a lot of cards in hand. He has to get a little bit defensive here, because Shanks being on board is something that he's not going to be able to deal with unless he drops like a Kingdom Come, Raigo, whatever you want to call it now. Yo, come on. Come on. Put yourself on life. Come on. Please. Do the right thing. You know you want to. There's no shot you heal me here. Cool. Good job. You can just go 6. We'll give him the 2K Sanji here. Another Joro Joro. Unfortunate. Huh. We may just have to start attacking. He's not playing any cards on board. So Bon Clay's not really getting any value here. So I guess we'll just poke him down. I don't know why he opted to take the 5K. And then he's also going to take this 12K. There's no way he counters out here. It just seems counterproductive. Please don't. Okay, good. Another Brûlé. So I think if you were going to counter a swing there, you would have countered out the Nami, right? To be fair. I can't get past the Brûlé here. If we attack and he doesn't guard and takes a Katakuri, he just bounces the Brûlé back to life and he heals up 1 with an L ability anyway. So then he'll be at 2 life. So we'll just chill. It's fine. So he has to play down Yamato here. He has to do it. And then hopefully he pops Chopper. Because that'd be nice. And lets me keep down the Bon Clay, but I doubt that happens. Oh, you can't pop me. Never mind. Never mind. We're good. We're good. We're chilling, boys. We're chilling. We're chilling. So no Yamato. Takes the Katakuri. Sure. You're gonna play Katakuri down? No, he's not. Weird. I guess he wants to attack this turn? Yeah. Fair. I mean, we could just guard point this. Go up to 9K. We're not going to give you Chopper here at this moment in time. Grab another Radical Beam, which is pretty good. We also now have options with Momonosuke here, which is great. Go up to 8K. This forces him to give me 4K counter in hand. One more. Good job. Nice. We'll do the same thing here, but instead we'll go 9K this time. Yep. So he does not have the counter for that. So potentially we can get Luffy through. Or we can go 5K with Nami and see if he wants to take the Hiyori here. Okay. Let's go 12K here. If he would have guarded with Momo, we would have just attacked into the Momo with Luffy or Shanks. So there goes the Hiyori. Just take the damage, don't guard out. Good job. So he must have a lot of dead cards in hand, is my guess. Oh, Nami. Interesting. Okay. Double blockers come down. That's fine. He had 2 Onamis in hand. That's rough. But did he draw into those, or did he get those off of life at some point? That's the question. Because I'd imagine if we got them off life, he would have used them, right? But what do I know? So we know one of those cards is Katakuri in hand. Oh, he's just going in. What are you doing? Okay. Alright. That's awkward. Give you the guard here as well. Yo, Chopper's just chilling, bro. He's hanging in there. Alright, so we got Diable Jambe here as well. These are about to become very, very strong. Thank you, Ace. Appreciate it. Oh, good game. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Diving into our last game of the day. Coming at you guys with RP Luffy into RP Law. You know what? I should have mulliganed this hand. I don't know why I decided to keep this one, but definitely not good. I mean, in hindsight, versus a lot of other decks, maybe, but I don't think Zoro Joro is going to be able to stick on board to get the Dawn ramp in this scenario, and it's probably better to look for a Bond Clay if possible. If he does stick on board, we're golden. Like, we can ramp up really, really quick and probably put this game away early. Alright, he has an answer for it. Never mind. I guess it was too good to be true. Yep. Sure. Man, that sucks, man. If he can live... Oh, we get another one. But I think we have to go 7k here and then play the Law. Unless he sees this coming. I really hope not. Just take the damage, please. Alright. Man, you're so good at this game. Yep. We'll play down another Zoro Joro and pass the turn. Ooh, that feels bad. So far, we got no ramp off. Law missed his chance as well. We go to, what, 7 Dawn next turn? We got no kid in hand. And then from that point on, it's either we play Queen to minus a Dawn to go backwards again, or we draw into something for our draw turn or get something we needed off life here. That's our only way we're probably going to be able to stay into this game. The amount of bodies that he keeps putting on board is going to, you know, overwhelm me here soon. Yep. That was a really good play, by the way. He got the extra Dawn off the ramp there with the kid to be able to attack me for 6k. That's pretty good. Nami can only find me defensive pieces here. Huh. Speaking of which, I've also considered using the 10-drop Luffy. The one that has 11k power with Rush and pops blockers, which is really nice. I thought about using that as well. But I'll have to get a little bit more playtesting with that card in OP07, just to verify how I feel about it. Because it might be relevant, I don't know yet. We'll see. Gotta do a little bit more testing, though. So we get the attack off, we get the ramp up here. I decided to go 6 just in case he went to block with the killer and give me a 1k, but he gave me the 2k counter from hand instead. So get down the Nami. Sure. We can go 7k here. We have the guard point available if need be. Let's just go 7. I don't see him guarding this, though. Yep. Unfortunate. Come on, Queen, fix my hand. That is not helping me. Chopper's a dead card in this matchup, unfortunately, because you can just bottom deck it and just get a, you know, body on board for free. So, I guess we'll just discard that. We do have the Luffy, and that actually might be our win condition. It might be our win condition. We'll see. If Queen can stay on board for a turn and get an attack off, and just get cards out of hand, maybe we can get there the following turn. But that's a big if. Okay, never mind. Yep. Law always has an answer, man, I swear. But in this situation, notice his Dawn count, right? We're a 6k leader. If he decides to minus Dawn first, then he can't attack me with everything here. I mean, he gets a Dawn back for the kid ability, sure. But then that's only 2 cards that he can, I guess, possibly swing on me with, is leader and then something else on board. I don't think he attacks me with his kid blocker. To be safe, I don't think he does. Now, if he doesn't remove it and then starts attaching Dawn first, before he removes the queen, then he can attack me with everything. Yeah, okay. I didn't think so. So we'll get a Dawn back with that, and then he can swing at me for 2 units this turn. Yep. Law's not going to get value here. We don't need the blocker for the following turn. Oh, he's going to clear board. Okay. That's awesome. Alright. Sure. Like, there's no reason for me to guard out here. He's going to clear it with another unit. Another 6k swing. Should we give him the Frankie? It's tough. Because he could run the Kid Killer. But I kind of need the counter here. How much would Newgate help me here in this scenario? I think Kid is probably the better play. Because Kid gives me access to the guard points and pushes me to a 7k body. Playing the Newgate only gives me access to 1 guard point. We can ramp back up. We have 2 guard points here. So Nami is probably going to get removed next turn, and then he can drop other cards unless he has like double Gordon in hand. Which I doubt it. So let's try to go 9k into the Penguin here, just to slow down the board here. Get a little control going. I think if I would have went 9k the leader, I might have got the attack off, but he would also get another card. I think if we can prolong the game for 1 more turn, we can win. I think Luffy's going to allow us to do it. Because now we're at 7k. Even if he removes the Kid this turn, we still have double guard point and quite a bit of counter in hand to protect us. But he has to swing with everything to try to take us out. He's got 6 Dawn available to do that. But again, we are 7, so he has to put 2 Dawn attached to Reiju and Law before he can swing. And if he's smart this turn, yep, okay, cool. He did attack first with Bond Clay. That does suck, but whatever. So let's give him the 2k counter. Unfortunate, but yeah. I was hoping he got overzealous. Oh, he does have it. You know, I can't get anything to stick on board for a whole turn. I think Zoro was the only card that did it. And this Nami, I guess, but still. I really needed the Kid to survive a single turn. But I know how unlikely that is, but the man had 2 Gordons in hand, so, I mean, what am I supposed to do? But if it did, we became a 9k body, and then he couldn't touch me at all. And then the following turn, we smack with Newgate, Kid, drop the Luffy, and do the thing. That should have been game. But I don't know if we can get there now. He can't hit me with Law here. We'll just give him the Queen. I think we're chilling, though. I think this 1 life will allow us to win game, though. If it's a counter of any sort, I think we're good. Shanks. Not what I needed. I can remove the Kid with it, but... And then we can swing into some of these bodies on board. There's no way you block this, right? If he does, that tells me he doesn't have counter in hand as well. Just let it go. Thank you. That's 1. I was going to say, it's not doing a whole lot right now with Nami just being on board by itself. So, there's 6 in the Reiju. I'm just curious, though, because if this card goes, what could he possibly have in hands? Okay, alright. What dead cards does Law play? Off the top of my head. Unless he has the counter and just chose not to do it. But I kind of find that unlikely. If we do the Newgate, we go to 8k for the next turn. He goes up to 7 Dawn. Luffy can time walk us. We can ramp a Dawn with leader ability here. I forgot to do Luffy ability. That's my bad. But it's okay, it's okay, it's all good. It's fine, it'll be alright, we'll get there. Go 6 here. We drew Radical Beam off our draw turn too as well, which is really good. Ramp up. Go 12. Pass it up. I think we're fine. I think we're okay. Because we can take one of these really big attacks if he decides to Dawn up a lot. We can take one of those hits and then we have everything else with our events. Because he has to hit me twice to win game here. He's got 7 Dawn to do it. And depending on what that card is, I don't think it's possible for him to win game here. He can go 7. 6 Dawn left to play with. We'll take the first hit. Unfortunately, it's a new gate. It doesn't really change things here, I don't think, mathematically. It doesn't. I think we should be fine. He has 6 Dawn left, right? So, yeah, no, we're good. Because even if he attaches Dawn here, yeah, we're chilling. 7, we'll give him a guard point. I don't think there's any other way he could have done about this, or win about this, per se. Unless he's got a Kid Killer in hand. Can he win here? 6. Just hit me with Kid. Okay, never mind. Raise you. So no Kid Killer. Alright, we got there, boys. Tough game, man. Tough game. I couldn't keep any unit on board here longer than a turn other than like the Nami and the Zorojoro. So he played well, I want to say. I don't know what all of his cards were in hand, of course. So, I mean, maybe there was options that he could have done opposed to doing certain things, but I think he did well. Go up to 6 here. And Diable Jambe. Good game, buddy. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the end of the video where we talk about deck lists and all that sort of thing when it comes to changes and how this deck is going to be looking into the future for OP07. Just do keep in mind that if you're interested in playing RP Luffy, this is a very expensive deck to build with all the queens and the Mr. 2 Pawseplays. These guys are going to be running you about $35 a pop. The same thing with these guys. I think these ones actually went up, so that's unfortunate. But overall, in OP07, this list will change drastically as well, as you guys will see a lot of other decks in the format too, which is unfortunate because we will be running into a Nell everywhere, so stay tuned for that one. I think a lot of people are going to miss Sakazuki when a Nell becomes rampant, but, you know, your locals may be different than my locals. I don't know. We'll see. But overall, I am thinking about taking out Chopper. Chopper is just a me thing. I like the card. It's just something I can search off the Nami. Realistically, I might just put in another guard point or go up another Diable Jambe. More so a guard point to replace the Chopper. I'm also interested in upping the Luffy count as well, so I might just make this a 2 in place of the Chopper. But I don't know. I don't really feel I need to see multiple Luffys in a game necessarily. Just because we have like the really big bodies here with the New Gates and the kids and other Luffys. Blockers aren't necessarily too much of a big deal for me to get around or deal with. But to go for those cheeky last hits, sometimes the Luffy really does make a difference. But so does the Diable Jambe. And both of these are searchable off the Nami. So I'm not really tempted to like max ratio this out. But it's something I could look into. Now when it comes to the Shanks though, in OP07, this deck is going to change entirely, right? With OP07 being a thing, with a Nell running around, you have a card such as Ace. I don't know if I touched on this in the beginning of the video, I don't remember. But this will probably be in every single yellow deck in the format. Katakuri, Queen, Yamato, and Nell. And it's going to be a problem. And I think a lot of people are going to miss the Sakazuki meta, and they're going to get tired of the Nell meta real quick. So we're going to need ways to play around this guy, because you got to keep in mind, this has a 10k power when it hits the board, and it has rush, and it heals you, man. It is just really good. So with Ace and then with Yamato, that's a lot of healing you have to deal with, and these are really big bodies that we don't have access to remove with ease. Shanks allows you to do that. 10k power or less, just KO them once this card hits the board, which is really nice. And considering how fast this deck ramps up with things like Zorojoro or Bon Clay, Jean Bart, Miss All Sunday, you can get there really fast. But overall, this has been a list I've been playing around with as of late. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions on it down in the comments below. Let me know if you're running something similar or what have you. Help out your fellow community members out there in the comments below. This has been Pawseplays. Remember, guys, smash the like button so we get these videos floating around. And I will catch you guys in the very next one and or at locals. I'll see y'all later. Stay safe out there.